17. Gryph sent a mental command to the ring of minor air shield, and, in a fraction of a second, a sphere of solid air exploded from the ring. It expanded and took the beast's head with it. Gryph thought he saw a look of stunned incomprehension cross the beast's face, but then the beast had no head, and so no face. To Gryph's irritation, the shimmering sphere of air blinked out. The force of the beast's skull losing to the sphere of solid air had used up the shield's health points. Gore, blood, brains, and far too much mucus cascaded onto Gryph, followed by the beast's body. The weight hit him, causing ribs to crack and lungs to expel air. He lost another 10% of his health, and it continued to dip. Gryph sensed the prompt in the corner of his vision and ignored it. Yeah, debuffs added, I know. He'd defeated the beast, but its leaking, fetid corpse was crushing the life out of him. He was suffocating as his hit points ticked downwards, approaching 0. He heaved and lifted a small edge of the beast's corpse, just enough for him to wriggle to freedom. He inhaled to satiate his burning lungs, but also inhaled the rancid slop that covered him. The taste and smell made him gag, and he coughed, rolling onto his side, and vomited. I am alive, he rejoiced, before his thoughts once again dwelled on the idea that people entered this hellish place for fun. He pushed the thoughts aside and leaned against the stalk of a mushroom and downed a health potion. Warmth pulsed into him as his health filled. Closing his eyes, he inhaled. In the corner of his vision, his prompt indicator blinked. You have earned 15,600 XP for slaying a Balgrath. You have reached level 2, 3, 4, and 5. You have 24, 20 base plus 4 Godhead bonus, unused attribute points. You have 5 unused perk points. You have reached level 2 in air magic. You have reached level 3 in analyze. That was a lot of prompts. Gryph would have smiled, except being covered in stinking gore was a mood killer. He now knew the disgusting beast was a Balgrath. He wasn't sure if it was because his analyze skill had leveled, or if it was a prompt given because he had slain the beast. Apparently, killing a high-level creature enabled a basic identification. Convenient, if odd. He stood and kicked the headless corpse several times. He knew it was stupid, but it felt amazing. After a few moments, his rage calmed, and he laughed. He stared at the beast and used Analyze. Balgrath, level 21, H 320, S 520, M 0, SP 0. Balgrath are not natural beasts. They are the product of ancient magical experimentation, which combined the ancient Wermin race of lizard people with mountain trolls. Balgrath are not the most intelligent or cunning creatures, but are tough and difficult to kill. Their extensive regeneration abilities allow them to heal nearly any wound in time. Balgrath are omnivores, but they rather enjoy feasting on the smaller sentient races that live on the surface. Solitary creatures in the wild, their Wermin cousins often keep Balgrath as pets. Strengths unknown. Immunities unknown. Weakness unknown. Gryph noticed the metal collar around the thick, headless neck. The collar had a thick ring attached, scored with metal-on-metal abrasions. This thing was a pet? His eyes went to the tunnel heading further into the barrow. Shit. What lay down that tunnel? Wermin, whatever the heck those were, Gryph sighed in resignation, knowing it was his only option. He retrieved his throwing knives and the tip of his broken spear from the corpse. Maybe it could be repaired. He suspected that magic items were not common in the realms. He wiped the blood from the knives when he got a prompt. You have harvested Balgroth blood. This rare and valuable ingredient has many uses in both alchemy and crafting. You suspect it could make a potion of health regeneration and other unidentified effects. You also get the sense it could craft an item that increases health regeneration and other unidentified effects. You have learned the skill Harvest Level 1. The realms are full of amazing ingredients that alchemists, crafters, and artificers can use to create wondrous potions, healing salves, and deadly poisons. The Harvest skill allows you to identify and harvest these ingredients. 50% chance to harvest ingredients. Every ingredient has 4 or more effects. At the base tier, you are able to identify the base effect. Sweet! Gryph exclaimed as he pulled his alchemy kit from his inventory. It was a leather box the size of a briefcase. It contained a variety of alchemical equipment and 100 small vials he guessed were for collecting and storing ingredients. He pulled a pump used to extract liquids and attached an empty vial to the end. He spent the next 10 minutes siphoning the thick green-black blood from the Balgroth's corpse. His 50% chance to harvest was annoying as he failed half the time. He had collected a nice haul. He even leveled Harvest, which increased his success rate by 2%. You have reached Level 2 in Harvest. Gryph considered trying to make a few potions with the kit, then reconsidered. He didn't know what ingredients combined well with others. Surviving the huge beast only to drink a poison cocktail of one's own making was not a dignified way to go. He stuffed the kit back into his inventory, again amazed by the weight and space-reducing powers of his satchel. On Earth, it would be the greatest invention of all time. But here in the realms, they gave it to every Tom, Dick, and Sally. It was time for some looting. If he were to survive facing the Wormen, he needed better weapons. He pulled a torn and tattered cape from an ancient skeleton of some knight-errant that had faced the Balgroth and lost. Like everything in the cave, it glittered with a fine layer of mushroom spores. Gryph wiped most of the gore and goo from him, but he now sparkled like a woo party girl on a whoop-it-up night. He spent the next half an hour gathering everything of use he could find in the cavern. You have found 24 gold coins, 34 silver, and 10 bronze coins. You have found 3 minor potion of healing. You have found 2 minor potion of stamina. You have found minor potion of mana. You have been awarded a fine steel spear. Item class, non-magical. Item category, not applicable. Base damage, 10. A finely crafted steel spear. You have found padded leather helm, light armor. Class item, non-magical. Item category, not applicable. AC bonus, +5. A standard padded leather helmet provides decent protection from attack. The loot thrilled him, but there was one final task. A task he was dreading. He walked up to the armless corpse of the small man. Gnome corpse. Gnomes are small humanoids whose love for mischief, song, and tinkering is famous or infamous. Gregarious and jovial, gnomes are natural wanderers. They are fond of adventure and will take up difficult and dangerous tasks if they believe the rewards will benefit them or their clan. The description of the small gnome tugged at Gryph's heart. Nobody deserved the fate this little guy had suffered. After a moment's hesitation, Gryph searched the body, hoping to find something that told him the gnome's identity. He found a sack of coins, a beautifully crafted dagger, a diamond ring on a chain, and a small book. You have found 56 gold coins, 65 silver coins, and 12 bronze coins. You have found an Ordonian ice dagger, short blade, air water magic. Item class, base. Item category, active. Base damage, 7, +2 base item bonus. Active powers. Power, 1. Cold strike, 1 point of damage per point of mana spent. Power 2. 10% chance to freeze an opponent for 10 seconds, paralyzing them. Mana limit, 5%. Cooldown, 5 minutes. This dagger was forged using a piece of enchanted ice from the northernmost reaches of Corin. It is a traditional weapon of Ordonian chieftains and is, on rare occasions, given to outsiders who have performed a great service to the tribe. You have found Gnomish Ring of Promise, life magic. Item class, base. Item category, passive. Passive powers. Power 1, +2 to Charisma. Power 2, +50 to Health. This ring is 1/2 of a pair given to 2 gnome lovers who have committed to spend their lives together. As long as the commitment is honored, the powers stay active. If one lover dies, the other ring is reduced to half power. If the fallen lover's ring is returned, the surviving lover will get the power of both rings. You have found Jebus's Journal, a basic leather journal used by the people of the realms to record the events of their lives. Gryph took a deep breath and opened the pages of the journal.
Dear Estrella, it has been barely a week since we parted ways, but the caravan has already reached the mountains. We will traverse Long Pass, and then we will be in the desert. I miss you dearly, but I will not lie and say that seeing the endless sands and the ancient pyramids of the Egyptians has me more excited than I have been since the day you agreed to bear my ring. Laughter and jokes fill the air around the caravan, as you would expect of any that filled with so many gnomes. Even Dardik the mountain dwarf and Zeliana that stuck-up wood elf have been surprisingly agreeable. I must go now, my love. Tifala is insisting I teach cousin Wick how to dance. I understand why you dislike him, but trust me, he is family and a misunderstood soul. My heart is your heart, Jebus.
Gryph read several other entries, each increasing the tear in his heart. This gnome, this Jebus, was a beloved husband who had left his love to build a better life for them both. But here, in the depths of this accursed barrow, he had lost his life. Gryph flipped to the last entry and forced himself to read.
Dearest Rayla, I have little time. It has been nearly a month since we became trapped in this evil place. Wick discovered this foul dungeon in an old tome. He insisted it was a place rife with treasures, but all we have found is evil and death. It is no normal dungeon, my love. This barrow is alive. It sounds insane, but the walls and the tunnels, sometimes they move and shift during the night. And the beasts, it's their eyes, Rayla. Foul and primal, but sometimes they look upon us with a keen and nefarious intelligence. I've become separated from the rest of the group, and I suspect that soon I will be dead. My greatest regret is that you will feel the moment I am gone. You will feel it, and I fear it will destroy you. I am sorry, my love. This will be my last entry. I love you. Jebus.
Gryph held back a tear. and then saw a message meant for him, scrawled inside the back cover in a ragged and rushed hand.
To whoever shall find this journal and this ring, I implore you to find my kin, my cousin Wick, and bring my journal and my ring to him. He will get them back to my love if he is able. I do not know who you are or if you even exist, but I have faith in the goodness of the gods and hope you can help this small part of me find my way home. If Wick is also dead, please consider making the journey to Erim, my village, where you will find my beautiful Rayla. Thank you, Jebus.
You have been offered the quest, Soothe a Broken Heart. Two lovers have been torn apart by death and uncertainty. Deliver this ring and this journal to the gnome known as Wick. Or, if Wick is also dead, bring it to the gnome woman Rayla in the village of Erim. Difficulty: moderate to difficult. Reward: unknown. XP: 5,000 to 10,000. Without a word, Gryph accepted the quest. He placed the ring and the journal into his inventory. Then he buried Jebus. I hate this fucking universe, Gryph muttered.